Today I'm diving into the biggest question in Fortnite right now. Who is going to win the FCS Global Championship 2025? I put up my top 10 contestants for you guys. Now we'll be going over them and I think why they're going to win and place as I put them. So let's get straight into it. Now before I start talking about my top 10, we of course have to look at the drop map. Because I think that the drop map depends so much on how you're going to place. If you're uncon or contested. Now let's take a look at my top 10 team. The team that I put as top 10 and who I think is gonna do decently well is the trio of Apple, Mixon and Focus. They are currently uncontested at Shotgun Solitude, so I think they have a decent chance of placing inside of the top 10. Now of course Apple has no LAN experience, but as have they been playing as a team lately, I definitely think they're gonna play inside of the top 10. Now they are landing on the left downside of the map, which is not the best spot, I'm not gonna lie. But if they keep pulling the zones, they could even place higher, who even knows. Now my 9th pick is gonna be the trio of Reed, Cooper and Curly. Now as we all know, they're dropping first order base and they're looking uncon right now. So I really think that if the zones keep pulling north, they might even have a better chance of placing higher than top 9, I'm not gonna lie. But we also have to remember that Cooper have won a LAN before. And he's playing alongside with Reed and Curly, especially Reed, who has a lot of LAN experience before this. So they could definitely surprise placing higher than top 9, but for now I will put them in there. Now don't get me wrong guys, this top 10 is probably the hardest decisions I've ever made because of how good calibers all of these players are, both individually and as a team. But for my top 7, I put a Minist, Visual and Braids. Now they are currently uncontested too at Foxy Floodgates, which is looking great, don't get me wrong. Middle of the zone, good players, good fighting potential. Yeah, these kids are definitely a top 7 team on my list. Now this is where it gets hard. The top 6 for me was hard to pick, I'm not gonna lie. But the team I chose for 6th place is Mus, Shadow and Spinks. They are currently unconned right now, and we all know what they did last season when they were con. They managed to qual to globals, which was pretty impressive, and now that they're uncon, yeah, they can 100% place inside of the top 6, which is my pick. So we are down at the top 5 teams right now. Who do I think is gonna place inside of it? It was hard too, but I have my choices, so let's get into it. Now my top 5 pick is Clicks, Yomso and Higgs. As we all know, when the season dropped, they decided to contest OXR, but they actually changed drop to Supernova Academy and they decided to contest King Phaser. But King's team, after all, decided to leave Supernova Academy after Clicks claimed it too. King is now going to triple contest instead of contesting Clicks, which is, I guess Clicks really has that much aura, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Clicks is 100% a top 5 team for me. Now Supernova has got nerfed from last season. Yeah, we can easily say that. But as good as a team like Clicks, Yomso and Higgs are, they are 100% gonna place inside of the top 5. We all know that Clicks, Yomso and Higgs love to play for the win. We have seen this before in the EVO Cups finals. But if they manage to pick up some more kills and rack up some more eliminations, I think they can maybe compete with the best of the best inside of the top 3. Now a lot of people argue that before this grand finals, the Clicks, Yomso and Higgs, when they had a pretty horrible performance where they placed top 8, I think that since that, a lot of people's opinion have changed to Clicks, Yomso and Higgs not being a top 3 caliber team in globals. But don't get me wrong, they could surprise us. And maybe we're gonna see Clicks wrap up that FCS win that he's been waiting for. Now let's move on to my top 4 team right now. In 4th place, I placed the team of Cammy, iDrop and Shari. Ever since Cammy and Seri split up and he picked up iDrop and Shari, they've been looking really good. They are currently uncontested at Shining Span, which just that tells you a lot. And considering how good players they really are, and as well as Cammy has won a LAN before, and he has a lot of LAN experience, I think they are definitely a top 4 team. Now, why do I place them so high too? One of the reasons is because of their uncon. But now what I like about this team is how contested they are around them. There's team fighting on the north, south as well in front of them. Now they're gonna have opportunity to third party Utopia City OXR where Peterbot and Wayne's team is fighting, as well as on their left where Pickstorm and Damus is fighting. This is really good, because not only can they pick up a lot of cert from the third parties fight, they can just run through, but they can also manage to get some free elimination points. In globals, I do really think that elimination point is gonna play a huge role where you're gonna place, and it's gonna have a lot of impact on how you place on the leaderboard. Now this is where the real use begin. We are currently at my top 3 for the global championship of 2025 in France. Now if I'm right or wrong, we're gonna have to see in a few weeks, but from now on I have chose my top 3. My third pick is a trio of Venno, Vico and Flixie. Venno leading the team as a fighting IGL and having the 2 best fighters in EU. If they come up with a good strat and they have a good game plan, this is a top 3 team 100% easily. Not only because of the players they have individually, but also as how they play as a team. We've seen this before in past grand finals, so there's literally no reason to doubt that they will not place inside of the top 3. Now the 2 teams that I have left is probably the best teams inside of this global championship. For my top 2 pick, I picked the trio of Ritual, Colt and Peterbot. They are currently contested by Vaniac, Marius and Pixie at OXR, but I think that they will be able to clean this off spawn pretty easily. Now, Marius and Pixie and Vaniac doesn't have the best reputation for being the best fighter off spawn, but then we literally have Colt, Peterbot and Ritual, which is arguably the best team off spawn in this whole global championship. So what do I think the score is gonna be off spawn? I would say probably like 8-4 maybe. I know that's high, but I do really believe in Peterbot, Colt and Ritual. And if they make it off spawn as well as getting the loot, we cannot forget they have center zone 2. I think that they can do really well, because we've seen that when Peterbot makes it off spawn, he's literally the most dominant player ever. But so why don't I put him in top 1, you ask me? Well, because there is probably a more dominant team than them. Now the more dominant team I'm talking about is my top 1 pick, which are the team of Polio, Acorn and Agers. Now they are currently uncon at Demon's Debris, and if you match them together, Demon's Debris is one of the best spots on the map with the medallion, as well as the best team in the global championships. What more can I say? And a lot of people are underestimating them, but in my eyes they are the best team in this global championship. They will absolutely destroy this lobby because of the reasons that they are uncontested too. Comparing to like Peterbot, they can definitely make something happen. That's why I put them as my top 1 pick. Now we cannot forget how good these players are as individual players too. Acorn being one of the best IGLs with the 2 best fighters. So guys, don't underestimate them. I do really think that they're gonna win the global championships. And hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications and press that like button. I see you guys next video. Peace.